here today to talk about the best products of 2020. These are going to be face products. We have primer, foundation, powder, all the things that I've been loving for last year that I think are super, super good. So I will be doing this is face. I have an favorite eye products of 2020 and lip products of 2020. I also plan on doing like Amazon favorites because that seems to be probably one of my better performing, like best performing videos was my Amazon favorite. So I think I'm gonna start doing more of those because it's like I shop on Amazon all the time. So today's gonna be face. I have, well, all the products that I have on my face today are products I'm going to be talking about. And then there might be a product or two that I don't have anymore because I've already finished it up. But I'm excited to share that with you. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Cassie. I hope you enjoyed this video and you decide to stay a while. Hit that subscribe button before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get into the Best of Beauty 2020 Face Edition. All right, so let's start with primers. I have two that I don't have here today because they've already been finished. The first is the Bobbi Brown Face Base. I had bought that a while ago and I pulled it out this year, and you'll see it in a upcoming empties unless it's already up. And I love it. It just made my skin feel so like plump and hydrated and juicy, and my foundation just went over it so nicely. There are certain foundations that I have that I love. One of them I'll be talking about later today, and it's actually what's on my face as well, that I have to have a really hydrated face, otherwise the foundation just doesn't look very good. But if my face is like nice and plump and hydrated, the foundation's amazing. And so the Face Base was one of those primers that I found I always had like good foundation days with. It's so good. It's expensive, but it lasts a really long time, and I love it. So that's the first one. The second one is the IT Cosmetics primer. I love that. I need to go buy it again because it's so good. It's so good at filling in the pores, smoothing the face, and it just provides such a nice canvas for your foundation. The other ones that I have here, the Magic Cream. If you liked the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, I'm sure you would like the Bobbi Brown Face Base. I feel like they could be used pretty interchangeably, and they're like this thick, balmy cream. And gosh, it just smells so good. It just does such a nice job at giving a nice canvas to start your makeup. Almost leaves a little bit of like a tacky feel to the skin, so it really adheres your makeup to it, and I like it. So those three, and then the next is the All Nighter Face Primer. This one is kind of similar to the IT Cosmetics one. It does kind of fill in the pores, smooth the skin, and leave a nice tacky base for your foundation. I found that that's really what I'm into this year, is like, or the last year, was having something that's really gonna grip my foundation and keep it on, especially since a lot of the times when we're going out, we're wearing masks, it can rub off really easily. I find that something that's really tacky, that can grip your foundation and your product, helps keep your makeup on a little bit longer. And so the All Nighter, this is a brand new one because I had already finished that one up and repurchased that. I would say that the Face Base and this one are kind of interchangeable, and I would say the All Nighter and the IT Cosmetics are interchangeable, but these are not interchangeable. Does that make sense? So anyways, love those. They were a huge hit for 2020. Also, you guys know I love my Tatcha pore filling primer. I've like gone through the big one, I think twice now. So before I opened up the other one that I had, I wanted to give this e.l.f. one a try, and this is the Poreless Putty Primer, just the regular one, not the matte one, not the luminous one, just the regular one. I've definitely hit pan. This is really nice. It's not quite a dupe for the Tatcha. The Tatcha, I would definitely say, if I had to choose between the two performance-wise, the Tatcha one would win, but this is just so inexpensive, and it is good. It's just not as good as the Tatcha one. But for 2020, I committed to this. I'm still using it. It's gonna last you a really long time. The way that I apply this, now if you don't like the Tatcha one or this, I can guarantee you may not be applying it properly, because I have watched so many YouTubers just get a huge dollop of this, like I'm talking like this much, and just smear it all over their face, and it just, I feel like your makeup doesn't sit well over it. They say it slides, and you know, that's the complaints I've heard a lot. This is how I use it. I just take my fingers, rub it in, get about that much, like there's not much, and I press it just right in my pore area. I don't put this all over my face because I don't need to be covering pore issues all over my face. This is strictly just a primer that I use right here in my pores. Sometimes I'll use it right here or on my chin, but that's it. This is not something that goes all over my face. So I use it every day, but I only use it right here to fill in those pores. Okay, now this is something I also use every morning. I love having like a bright hydrated under eyes. I have a really dry under eye area. So I go in with my eye cream, but by the time I go to do my face makeup, you know, all my moisturizer, everything is really set in. So I kind of need to give it a little oomph again, especially my under eyes. And I've been using this for a long time. You guys have seen this before. The Glam Glow Bright Eyes Illuminating Anti-Fatigue Eye Cream. It's like a little bit of a pearlescent tone to it. So when you put it under your eyes, not only is it hydrating, but it almost gives like this pearlescent glow that allows to be seen a little bit through your concealer. It's not like you're gonna be glittery under there. It's not glitter. It's just like a pearly glow, and it really does just kind of brighten and like awaken my under eye. So that's something I also use every single morning. We're gonna move on to foundation. Now, I played around a lot with foundation, and I'm like a kind of person, sometimes I'll just use one foundation, but I'm a mixer. I like mixing different foundations together. And so I'm gonna share with you a couple that I use on its own, and then a couple like concoctions that I make that literally are flawless. So let's start with what I use on its own. The first is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. It's what I'm wearing today. It has a pump. It also has a doe foot applicator. I am an MN3. This is like a good semi-self tan shade for me. It's what I have on right now. It's beautiful. This is a foundation that I have to have a very like plump, well-hydrated canvas in order for this to look good. Otherwise it looks kind of dry on me. So this is one that I will use if I'm using like the Magic Cream or the Face Base or just something really like plumpy, hydrating, where my skin just looks super juicy. Then I will use this because, or I have to use those products if I want to use this foundation because it can look a little bit dry on me. It is beautiful. It lasts all day. It is, feels like skin, like I can touch my skin and it doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel like it's gonna budge or move. I love this. So I do wear my makeup to the gym because I get up at 6 a.m. before all the little kids, all my little babies are up, and I do my makeup, and then by the time I get to go to the gym, my makeup's on. I'm not gonna take it off to put it back on. Usually I have errands and stuff to run later. I love doing makeup. It is like my thing. I've noticed that since I started getting up an hour before the kids to get myself ready, it just changes the whole day. I've been doing it for a year and a half now, and I love putting makeup on. It's not a chore for me. It doesn't feel like I have to wear makeup in order to like go do things, but I love wearing my makeup, and I love the process of putting my makeup on and watching my show and drinking my coffee in the morning. So I do wear my makeup to the gym, and all of these are gym approved. As far as like I sweat a lot and they last pretty well. And part of it has to do with this powder I'm gonna show you. But the Pure 4-in-1, I love it. I have a lighter shade too. I kind of want to get a darker shade for in the summer and like when I have like a good fresh self tan, because sometimes this can be a little bit light. Okay, the other one that I'll wear on its own is this one right here. This is the Your Skin But Better foundation from IT Cosmetics. This is amazing. Now the CC cream doesn't work for me. It just slips and slides on my face. It does not sit, or it doesn't last well on my face, and it tends to look a little cakey. This is amazing. It's very thin, very liquidy, and it looks beautiful on the skin. I have the shade Medium Neutral. It's a pretty good shade match for me when I have self-tanner on, which is pretty much always. And it says it's water light, medium coverage, natural radiant finish. It is beautiful. I have been wearing this like nonstop lately. And it's a really good foundation. So if you like something lightweight, feels like skin, has good coverage, and lasts a really good time on your skin, you will love this. So I'll make sure to link that below as well. This is what I had on in my empties video. Another one that I love, this one isn't necessarily the best if you like work out or sweat a lot or it's really humid, unless you have super dry skin. This is the Radiant Serum Foundation. I really like this. It has SPF 50 in it. It looks stunning on the skin. It's not too dewy, it's not too glowy, but it does like give you that healthy, natural, radiant look, which I really love. And it's drugstore, so it's super inexpensive. I have this in like 4 or 5 colors. I feel like this is almost gone actually. Yeah, this is probably like only got a quarter left. This is in the shade 35 Nude Beige. This is like when I'm like freshly self-tanned. I think I have it in 3 or 4 other shades so I can mix and match it. But this is also a foundation that's really good to mix with maybe a more matte or long wearing foundation if you need it to last a little bit longer. But for like an everyday wear, like on the weekends, I love wearing this because I know I'm not gonna go to the gym and I'm not gonna sweat it out. Although I have worn that to the gym, it just doesn't do as well as some of my other ones. A mixer. Now you'll see this in my empties video coming up. This is a different shade Vanilla. It's way too light. But I love mixing the Too Faced Do You. Can you guys still get this? I don't even know, I should have looked that up. The Do You with the Peach Perfect Matte. The combination of those two is amazing. It's like pore filling, smoothing, brightening, dewy radiance, but kind of satin matte at the same time, and long wearing. Now, I have been using the combination of the Do You and the Peach Perfect for years. Like I remember 3 years ago, I was doing that combo at Disneyland. So it's been a combo that has been tried and true, and it's what I used pretty much the first half of the year. I actually finished this one up in light beige is my favorite color. So I need to purchase this again in the correct shade. And I do like it on its own, but it's like magical with the Peach Perfect. Okay, this is another combo that I do. And one of them, okay, here's the combo. Okay, don't pay attention to how gross this looks. This is what I use basically to pour whatever foundation I'm using. It's my new little tray. Sometimes I will, obviously use it for its intended purpose with this, but a lot of times I just use this as the tray. So I did that today. Okay, this combo is magical. The NARS Radiant with the Beauty Blender foundation. Something about this combo is stunning. It lasts all day long. My pores look small. My skin is like the perfect, like satin. It looks like skin. It's lightweight. It's just like everything I could ever want in a foundation. This combo does it. Now, I have worn this on its own before, and I like it. It can get a little dewy on me, but it's nice and long wearing. And this I also really love. It is smoothing, pore filling, and they both feel like skin, which I love. So they're good on their own as well, but together they're a magical dream. I have this in 2.5, and then I have this in Vanity, which is way too dark. So I can never wear this color on its own because it's too dark, but I do have it in a lighter shade, so I'll mix those two together if I'm just gonna wear this on its own. But primarily when I use this, I use them together. Let's move on to powder. This is a really small list. I have 2. The first one is this number 7. Actually, I have 3, but I already finished it up. The first is the Boots number 7. This is the Triple Action Finishing Powder in the shade Light. I learned about this powder from Jessica Braun, Jam Beauty 87. Gosh, I keep calling it Jam Beauty 87 because that's the year I was born. Jam Beauty 89. And it's really good. This is the second one I've gone through. Perfect for setting your under eyes. I don't love this for all over my face, but under my eyes, I really like it. It's just nice and smoothing. The other contender with this one is the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I love that one. I love that one more than this one, but I like the price tag of this one more than the Charlotte Tilbury. But I've gone through like 3 Charlotte Tilbury ones. So I love them both. Depending on your budget, if you are fine splurging on the Charlotte Tilbury, that is my preference. But if you wanted to save some money or you're on a budget, this one is really great as well. But the number 1 powder of my whole entire life is this Infallible powder right here. It's the loose setting powder in translucent light medium. This is the 3rd one I've gone through, and it's almost gone. There's like hardly any left. This is the 3rd one. I have another backup in here. It is just a loose powder. They have 2 shades. I've never tried the darker one, but it is the most finely milled, super soft, pore filling, pore minimizing, smoothing, blurring powder I've ever used. And I have used a ton of powders. This I love for under my eyes. I love it for setting my whole face. It is absolutely amazing. It doesn't provide any coverage, so it's not going to shift or adjust the color of your like foundation or bronzer or anything like that. It is just so amazing. And I either apply this with a big fluffy brush, but mostly I'll apply it with like a beauty blender, dip it in, and then set my under eyes with it and set my face with it. It's amazing. Hands down my favorite. Literally when I finish up all the other like random powders that I have in my stash, this will be what I go back to repurchase. And I already have repurchased it many times. So the next is concealer. One of them I already finished up and it's literally phenomenal. It is the Makeup Revolution Hydrating Conceal and Hydrate That one is my favorite. It is so good, hydrating, doesn't like set into weird fine lines, looks beautiful under the eyes. It's like hands down probably my favorite. These other ones are also really, really good, and I use them every day. So the first, I like combinations, you guys, I'm telling you. They're great on their own, but I really like mixing things. The Pretty Fresh Concealer by ColourPop, beautiful. Tons of colors. This one is in the shade Light 33C. What's the other one I use? When I'm more tan, I use Light 60N. And they're just so beautiful. They smell kind of weird, but they're thin. They have great coverage. They don't really settle into the fine lines. I mean, all of them kind of do, but not as bad as others. So these ones are really great. Awesome price point as well. And then the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This one is amazing. It's thicker. So if you don't like super thick concealers, you might not like this, but it is a thicker concealer, but it covers really well and it blends out beautifully. I have 2.5 and I also have shade, I think 2.3, but this one is another great one. I have gotten out of doing the, triangle concealer, and I really just put a little, like a dot here and then a dot here and then blend. And this one's amazing. Another one that I really love is the KKW. This is in the shade 4, and I have shade 3 and shade 4. And this one, again, super lightweight, but great coverage, feels very hydrating under the eyes, doesn't add to like the crepiness or like accentuate wrinkles, which I really appreciate. I also, this is totally side note, have been getting my Botox done a little differently because I, have really big crow's feet here when I smile. So I get that done, but then they also started bringing the Botox in just a tad bit more here, because when I would smile, this would be smooth, but I would get tons of little lines under here. But then they started bringing the Botox in just a little bit, and it smoothed all this out. And literally, it makes doing my makeup a dream because all those little lines are gone. This is a couple tools I'll share with you that I use. These two babies. This is just a blue, sapphire blue beauty blender from the Beauty Blender brand. I love it. They sent me a ton of them a long time ago, so I probably need to toss this one because it's starting to rip. But I really like this one. I found I don't like the pink one. I think there is a difference between the different colors because I have the pink one right here, and it just doesn't feel as squishy and soft as the blue one. Maybe because it's new and it needs to like be broken in, but the blue one I really like. And the other one I like is from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. concealer, camo concealer sponge, I think. This is the second one I've gone through, and my dog got a hold of the other one. But I love the shape. It's great for getting the concealer under your eyes. It's great for powdering under your eyes. I love it for blending out cream highlight. I love it for doing cream blush. It's just, I love the shape of it. So, and it's super inexpensive as well. I think that's it. I think that is all for my, I have two setting sprays that I wanted to talk about. Okay, the first all-nighter spray you'll see in my empties. I finished 2 of these up, 2 big ones. This one is just really great. I love the summer solstice scent, so if they still have it or they ever come out with it again, it just smells so nice. The all-nighter, I've been using setting sprays like every day now. The other one, this one's newer. I got it towards the end of the year, but tons of people on TikTok were talking about how this like makes your foundation like not budge when you wear a mask. And I have to say, this is probably the best setting spray I've used as far as like if you're wearing a mask for extended periods of time, it really does help your makeup from like wearing off or like smudging as easily. And it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. It is phenomenal. And I love the sprayer on it too. It's like, oh, and it smells good. I've already done my face, but ooh, just is so nice. I have to mention this fan. It's an everyday use. Just got it off Amazon. I've gotten so bougie now that I think I saw Jaclyn Hill talk about having a fan like this for her setting spray. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a good idea. I got it, and now I totally understand. Like, I can't be bothered to wait for my setting spray to dry anymore. I fan myself every day, and it's just wonderful. All right, so that is it for my Best of Beauty Face Edition. I would love to know what some of your favorite face products were last year. Leave them down in the comments so that way we can all read through them and kind of see if it's stuff we already have and it will remind us to pull it out, or maybe new things to add to our list for the new year. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. I hope you are staying healthy and safe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.